compared to GPT-4o. But the good news is I've been I've been seeing different trends in the way of these models get experiment results. For example, in a certain experiment, GPT-4o can succeed betterly compared to Gemini succeeding way more poorly, and vice versa, right? Which then opens the door for me to, which I'm really excited about, to dive more deeper into which model succeeds better in which conditions, which kind of experiments, and whatnot. Ideally, I don't know if it will be possible today. I tried running experiments with Cohere as well today, as well as cloud models in GCP, but I believe there are still errors in that. But until Monday stand up, I want to prepare a report about some of the findings I find in terms of why and what might be causing model performance differences in different experiments. I will be updating the core 2 links for each model in for weights and biases so everyone can look and see. And I want to publish a report in weights and biases like the old times we used to do. So it will be a nice, learning opportunity for all of us in terms of model performance. Yeah. But yeah, Gemini is, to my surprise, is very comparable with GPT-4o. It was interesting to see for me.
And this is are we sure that the experiments went to Gemini? They didn't fail back to GPT-4. They didn't fail over.
I checked I checked like 20, 30 logs. At all of them, the orthogonal survey was used by Gemini. It didn't say using fallback model GPT-4o. That was one of the things I checked, and it was saying using Gemini.
Amazing, amazing work. Now, can
Yeah.
you can you make any sort of predictions as to when Gemini outperforms GPT?
Again, I that's one of the things I really want to dig deep from today. I don't want to. I don't want to really make like stupid blind predictions. It would be whatever I say right now would be uneducated in that sense. But for sure, until Monday, I will have a much better grasp in terms of what's causing this
Amazing.
difference, for sure.
And so now that we have the hooks into GCP or into Vertex, excuse me, into Vertex specifically, Catalan put together like half a dozen endpoints. Um, any
Yeah.
any progress on or any and what are the plans for the other endpoints? I guess
You mean the endpoints as if in like Cohere and
and
Cloud
Llama and a couple others.
models?
Yeah.
Llama. Yeah, today I tried running Cloud Haiku, Cloud Sonnet, GCP, and then I tried Azure Cohere, but all of them throws errors when creating orthogonal surveys. And yeah,
Mm, so
I can I can show
Opus
an example.
O- Opus has some sort of resource issue. Marty was saying, so he has disabled that. But Haiku and Sonnet are in,
Okay,
and the
because
Mistral
yeah,
Mistral and Llama, even with Pydantic, they are giving like response in a very weird format every time. So it's leading
mhm,
to a lot of errors. So we are still figuring out how to get
yeah.
around that issue.
If for example these are all if you can see my screen, these are all
Yeah, Haiku. Yeah.
and if I go into logs of
I
these will
I
be
propose I
throwing
propose
errors.
take out Pydantic.
Yeah.
Save 50 per.
Then we have we have even more error even in basic GPT-4 ones.
Really?
We tried playing with that. Yeah.
I'm.
Because as soon as you remove Pydantic, then it's free to give you response in any format, and then you literally have to parse the
But
text.
in our old, let's have a session. Let's have a session because in core one we would just prompt and say respond with only a single character.
No, but we had a big parsing logic to parse the response if you look into prod.
I
there is a there is a very big chunk of code just to parse the whole string.
That doesn't. All right. Let's take a look. I mean, I believe you. I wanna understand it better. Um, okay, we'll get there. Nice. Great progress. Great progress. Help.
Again, no, I really want to once again thank Madi, Subodh, Tatwik. I've been always annoying in terms of, hey, help me. How can I start working? And they were always like, okay, man, we got it. We got you covered. So thank you again, guys, for bearing with me.
Um,
Mm.
and okay, and that's rerunning the human baselines. And how many human baselines did you run about with
We
GPT?
now have runnable 84, exactly 84,
Okay.
because we still don't have the capacity to run um, effect coded experiments. They are throwing errors.
Mhm.
So yeah, 84 dummy coded working experiments we have right now.
And that's the total universe for us.
So
And
sorry,
that's our
can you?
total universe right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, yes,
So let Tatvik finish with the new change that she's making, and then we can incorporate effect coded so that the
yeah.
rest can be run.
I got a question. In terms of the continuous variables you were discussing, should I, once those are pushed, should I rerun the experiments where there's a continuous variable in human
Oh, no,
baselines?
no, no. I actually I did not I did not include that for human baseline. So let me
Okay.
change that for human baseline and I'll let you know.
Yeah, once you let me know, I took notes of the experiments with continuous variables. It'll be easy to rerun and see the effects of the changes.
All right.
Oh, yeah, and one last question. Do I change anything in the CSV in terms of continuous variables?
No,
No. Okay, perfect.
no, all internal in the
And
Perfect.
once you
backend.
get effect coding, what's our human baseline library gonna look like?
It's gonna be, give me a second, please. Oh. It's gonna be 151 experiments.
Wow. So we're gonna double our
Yeah,
library.
yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
But I'm really, really, really excited to, um, starting from today, dive deep into the model differences. That's
See if you can get the other models turned
that's
on,
I
because
wanna
remember the clock's ticking, and we got we our credits are very fungible, not fungible, excuse me, perishable.
perishable. Okay.
So we
Yeah.
wanna really spend all the credits. My guess is once you get a half a dozen or a dozen language models working as respondent endpoints, the most human response will be some sort of ensemble. I could be wrong.
Okay. Right. So who's next?
If somebody take the mantle, I have few guests, so I need to go. I'll be back in half an hour.
Okay.
Somebody take the
Nice
mantle.
work, Sabod.
Sorry
So
about it.
let's go in random. How about Harris? Har- Harris, hello. Oh,
Ha-
Maybe I can start.
Yeah, this is Harris.
yes, hello. So yeah, in terms of the updates, things you're stuck, things you're working on. Am I audible? Hi, hello.
Yeah, this is Harris.
He's still recovering from the surgery, so we
Yeah,
can move to
okay.
the next person.
So then we can move to Ambuj. I don't wanna. Can I? Do I say it correctly?
Yeah,
Sorry if I
Samboj. Yeah.
butchered your name.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, well, I met with Mohak yesterday, and he helped me set up holodeck. So he gave me a tour of what the packages are within and how to set it up. And then I also met with Mahdi, and I'm guessing my task is going to be trying to work on a chatbot, which the users can interact with every time they go to the main page of the Subconscious AI website. So I plan to meet with Subodh a couple of more times, and then I'm assuming that I'll start the development process for the chatbot. So yeah, that's all for the updates.
What is the chatbot you're building, Rambuj?
Yeah, so Subodh had told me that maybe I can work on a chatbot. So that would like help navigate the users, the first time users who come to the main page and they really don't know how to navigate through the web page, or they have a problem or they don't understand a particular visualization or some aspect of it. So maybe they can help. They can talk to the chatbot and it would guide them through the process. So that was like one potential project that me and Subodh were talking about.
I know. I don't. Okay. I don't know if that's like our. I don't know if that's like. I haven't seen like a chatbot in the design, and um,
All right.
I didn't know that making a chatbot was a priority. Chatbots in general have been kind of this, maybe with the exception of ChatGPT, but they've been kind of this
Mhm.
like underperforming interface, and I'm anxious about
Mm.
putting a chatbot on our site because we sometimes get the question, oh, how are you different than just asking ChatGPT? How are you different than a chatbot? And if we
Mm.
have a chatbot, it's like, I don't know. I, it's not. It doesn't feel like an innovation. It doesn't really feel like a first of a kind tech. Um, and I don't want people to
Okay.
think that we're just a wrapper to a chat bot. I don't know. I mean, talk to Sabod, but there are there are a bunch of like really high priority tasks on the design roadmap that.
All right. Sure. So I'll have a meetup with Subodh and maybe we can discuss something else. And I'll have an update next
Yeah,
time. Sure.
I could be missing
Is
something also.
it seems like that chatbot is a feature that should be talked about in design, um, to like see if it warrants prioritization, right? And part of that formula is assessing, value and effort behind that, because it's a lift for both. So, um, yeah, that's my yeah.
So if Ambush is done, let's move on with Hadi.
Hello everyone. So this week I could fix the issue with missing experiments, and also pending experiments short more than which it is needed, uh, and also some other small UI updates which was posted on Panic Button channel. And also the dev and test will be stable once we fix these two issues, like Stripe customer ID is null sometimes. For me, it doesn't exist even in Auth0, and also replicating failed experiment.
Are those issues with our Upwork, with our auth implementation?
I think yeah. Customer ID. I think it's a zero issue. Failed experiment. Uh, it's not. Of course, it's not with a zero.
Yeah, that'd be really, um, really excellent, Hadi. I'm really looking forward to pushing test into prod. Um, we're now going to be close to 3 months without an update to prod. Granted, we're changing core, so that's a big change, but it'll be really nice to it'll really be nice to get a more continuity between the instances. Thank you for doing that. That's big work.
Um,
Yeah,
so,
that's it
oh, sorry.
from my side.
Okay, sorry. Then finally, Suhani.
Everyone. I've been working on refining the beta values generated by the logic model. Today, I had a meeting with Subodh, and he mentioned that the values generated were a bit too large. So he suggested some changes to make to normalize the values. So I've been working on that.
Say that again. Sorry.
And
What are you working on?
he said that the beta. I'm so sorry. There's some disturbance here because it's like a Diwali time, so a lot of firecrackers going off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You said you're working on the betas.
Yeah, I'm working on the beta values because Subodh mentioned that the values generated were a bit too large. So he wanted me to normalize the values a bit more.
Normalize the values of the betas, and I thought we already are calculating the betas.
Well, he suggested some changes to make in the code.
What changes?
He mentioned something called a base value. So he's asked me to integrate that. Yeah, some that is the value that is the highest ranking variable. So he's asked me to change the formula, but
So if we use the highest ranking value as the base, that will result in better normalization.
yes, yes.
Whereas we were using the middle value for the base.
Since this is a human replication, the code was like it's been written from scratch. So today he mentioned this to me, so that's why I've integrated it now.
This is for Hey Mueller. Well, what is
Yes.
the ETA on getting this done? I was expecting this to be a pretty quick exercise. Last time we did the AMCs on Hey Mueller, we did it in a couple of days. It's been now, I don't know, it's been a long time. What's the ETA on getting this done?
This it'll be done by Monday.
I mean, it doesn't have to be done by Monday, but it's
It's a small change, so I'll get it done.
and then this whole exercise is just so that we can understand what the human to human Spearman R looks like. And
Yes.
are we using the same Spearman R calculation in your Hey Mueller as we are in our actual backend?
I suppose so. I'll check in with Subodh once, but I think it's the same calculation.
Okay, yeah. I want to make sure it's the same because we want to be at parity. These upgrades
Alright.
you're doing for the how to calculate the betas, is that something that we should be doing in core 2 as well?
I'll look into it, but if the values or the results I'm generating are better, then we should take a look.
How do you know that they're better? They're closer to what's published in the paper.
Um, yes, yeah.
Are you looking at the because that paper actually has the code as well? Are you looking at the paper's actual code?
No.
Check that out. See if that helps you.
Okay, I'll look into that.
um, Harris, would you gonna be able to share your updates on the chat, or if you feel better, yeah, you can
Yeah,
type.
so
Hmm.
I've just assigned my tasks and I created my branch and I was working on there.
Sorry, Harris. What have you completed in the last 2 weeks since you started?
Last week, in my uh, personal issues, I cannot focus on my work, but from now I can focus on my work. Sorry.
And what are you doing? What is your objective?
Uh, yeah, so I will assign the tasks. Just I will be assigned my tasks, and so yeah, I've created my Git branch, and I was working
What
on
task were
there.
you assigned?
It
What
will be
task were you
done.
assigned? What are you working on?
It is resolved issues.
What issues? I'm sorry.
So sorry.
What are you working on?
Oh yeah. So it is the for the AMC's critical availability to take more than two AMC charts from different experiments. For the purpose of showing out Schumann baseline results across the multiple LMs. This issue is the my ticket, and I was working on there.
Got it. Got it. That okay. That's a tricky one because right now I don't think if we run the same experiment with multiple LLMs, we have no way of knowing which of the LLMs are which of the experiments are linked together. Um, we have a one run per experiment limitation in weights and biases, and we don't really have a larger system. Maybe we could use tags, but sit with Madi or Alp and really try to figure out how we want to identify the same experiment with different LLM respondents, because it's unclear to me that there's a solution for that right now.
Yes, got it.
Maybe you just hard coded in the UI, but okay.
I have realized I skipped Pablo. Sorry about that. No, yes, Pablo.
Yeah, no worries. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Aligned with Sarah yesterday, so we have a clear path. Sarah reviewed all those resumes and contacts and profiles, so yeah, we can align real quick and yeah, see how we can move in terms of next steps. We've also aligned on the strategy for recruiting for BD, which is exciting. We're going to make them work really hard on the interview process to get it across quality versus quantity. We are also having lots of demos, starting out this consulting path. And I've gotten a lot of conversations and feedback from multiple people, and the results are very, very, very favorable. So we'll see how things go there. Just got to keep doing outreach. We also have onboarding. We're really close to getting that all on Fern. I know we got to clean that up. And we certainly have to do that before November, but we've made a lot of progress there. Yeah, so thank you, Ida, on that, which would be good. Are we moving from Breezy to Fern?
Onboarding on Fern? What is that?
So the onboarding knowledge base is, for the most part, already pushed onto Gitbook. Gitbook connects to Fern, and right now Fern has like 2 versions of Wiki, and like it's kind of messy, and so that's what we need to fix. Yeah, does that answer your question? Breezy is not. No, I have no idea. I wasn't even there in the Fern meeting. It's an ask.
What is your
Right.
ask? I'm sorry.
So right now,
I understand. What's your ask?
well, there should be one version of the wiki that is tied to Fern, not 2.
Okay. So that's a block.
My ask is, well, yeah, we don't want to show misleading information. We want to just direct them to the one spot where, they need to go. That's it. Everything else in terms of like content being pushed, I've, Avi's been really helpful and supportive in getting that through. So I'm just pushing content there.
And then can you report on where we are on the contracts? On the contracts revenue, where we are with that pipeline.
Sure. We have 1 verbal, 2 verbals. We had another one that came in earlier this week. He declared that he wants to start this program starting on Monday of next week. We have
And then with
another.
Did we send them a contract, or did we? How do we convert from a verbal to a paid?
So one of them is an accelerator. And the last input that they shared was that they're trying to allocate the budget. Okay. The second one, we've agreed on price. So that is all set. I plan on connecting with him, and I think he can just go straight to the Stripe, submit his credit card information, and execute accordingly.
Do you need help with that?
No, I suspect that he can do that directly through the application.
You were giving him a discount, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we can get online on that after. Let me line up with him. But yeah, it should be really quick. I'm not worried about that. That's something that's within our control.
Okay, let's do that. Then we have a big party. That's a big thing to party about.
We also have deal makers. That's Avi, your deal.
What was the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
The guy you want to put into Stripe? The guy with the discount? Was that a company?
Yeah, Emil. He's an ex-Frog, and he is a startup founder. The name of that startup is Stealth. But he is gonna use it.
That's my favorite startup name.
We also have deal makers that is pushing through. That's you have more insight into that than I do, but the way it's looking, it's going to be a much more complex opportunity. I don't know to what degree it's been priced, but we're already having conversations around how to execute on that, trying to treat that as a consulting engagement. We have also, oh my God, what's the other one? We have Priceline that is coming in, and they want to do a trial program. Working that with Connor. And so we need to right now define the state of that trial program, or as Avi says always, the measure of goodness. Okay. And that'll be a real test around, our bioequivalency relative to, their own experiments and, their particular users.
How much is this
We
one?
have cars. That one I don't know. Connor has more details. We don't know how many seats yet. No.
Okay. So the pipeline is the Puerto Rico Accelerator, the Stealth, and Dealmaker. That's like the.
No, there's. I'm sorry.
Those are like effectively the verbals.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I don't want to go through the whole pipeline, but just with those verbals, if we convert those verbals, assuming Dealmaker is in for 5K, that's close to 100K per year of ARR, and then we can start the fundraising process. As soon as we convert those
Yes.
verbals to actual contracts.
I'm being much more aggressive now that the platform is in a more stable state, in offering trial programs and really leaning in and being almost like a consultant to the consultant or a consultant to the end user. Really need to reel them in, to bring them into the platform so that they can see the magic. And I mean, you've been in those calls, so we just got to push that through. We have cars.com. I had a conversation with Cisco yesterday. Unfortunately, the design team that I met with at Cisco is they work exclusively with internal clients. It's an internal product, but they want to champion the product across many departments at Cisco, especially, my champion, who work with me in a program at Frog Design. And so that's very favorable. And then I have 2 other consulting firms that are interested in leveraging us, talking about the trial program as well. One is Awesome Labs. The other one is sort of like bio or environmental engineering. So we just got to continue to reach out. Everyone has access to the platform. Everyone has access to the roadmap. Just go to HubSpot. You literally have access to everything.
And so, awesome. And okay, great. So you said your blocker is getting what did you say your blocker was? Sorry, getting the new.
Yeah. No worries. So we have all of the most of the onboarding content. Ida has been super helpful on that. Yuning is providing more content this weekend. I've already started pushing that content onto Gitbook. Where I see an issue is on the actual Subconscious website, where there's.
Fern, or do you want it in Gitbook?
Well, Gitbook connects to Fern. That's my understanding.
Well, no. Fern connects to our API. Yeah.
I see.
Sorry. Fern connects to GitHub, not Gitbook. Yeah.
I see.
Right.
I just want to clean it up.
It's okay. Let's do this offline. Let's do this offline. Let's do this offline. Suhani, I might ask for your help to work on this Fern stuff that Pablo's asking for, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Let's keep going.
All right, so I think we're done. Does anyone have demo?
We have scheduled a release to production later today. Is that happening? We originally had scheduled for 2 Mondays ago, and then 2 Mondays before that. Maybe not 2 Mondays before that, but then earlier. I don't know. And we every time it comes up to having the release party, we end up just like moving the calendar event 2 days later. If we're ever gonna miss a release, we need to know as early as possible so that we can not only set the internal expectations but also the external expectations. But I keep telling people we're releasing because we have this thing scheduled, and then I keep pushing it 2 days later, 2 days later, 2 days later, 2 days later, and it makes me look really like a poor planner.
Okay, then let me sit with Subodh what needs to be fixed, and then
Subodh's not QA.
we can.
Subodh doesn't know what needs to be fixed. Subodh stuff works great. Why would you sit with Subodh? Subodh stuff is not what's stopping us from releasing.
Okay, then if not, then let me check the state of the application, and then we can release.
What I would like you to do is let's come up with like a legit QA UAT process, because I don't know that we know when we're ready to release. Like, we kind of work on things. We work on bugs as like Pablo discovers them during demos, but like Pablo's never going to stop discovering bugs, right? So like, at what point do we say this is good enough and then release?
We can have a Avi a session, Avi, Madi, myself, right after this meeting, and just quickly align on definition of done for each of those phases. Right? We talked about that. Right?
Yeah, because I just don't want to. I just don't want us to wait forever, because there's always going to be stuff to do.
Let's align and then assess based on that criteria. I think it's a great call out.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we moved to Python 3.11 this week.
Congratulations. Was there any performance improvement, or was I totally wrong?
Now it's in dev, so I have not measured it. I was using it Python 3.11 in local, like 1 month, but it's in dev now.
Any performance improvement in local?
Not specifically, but let me measure the experiments and their running time, execution time.
That's exciting. Guys, if everything that we're saying today is right, and we release this new thing into production, and then we have $100,000 in, close to $100,000 in ARR, then we're done with the tech recruiting. We're pretty much done with like the biz dev recruiting. We're done with our initial revenue to validate fundraising, and I think we can start really going to market. Like, we have all of our content. Sarah's put together a great set of content. Madi and Tatevic and Hadi made the app bulletproof. Pablo's got a pipeline. I think we're ready. Which means I have a lot more work to do. which means everyone else can take the next 2 months off, and then I can bust my ass living out of a suitcase.
Just for context, because I don't think people understand, but that would mean that Avi has to fundraise, right, and lead the charge, and then the objective then is, now that we have a formula, scaling that formula, right? Scaling the full operation, scaling engineering, scaling data science or trust and bioequivalence, scaling marketing, etc. So it's exciting. This is the hard part of venture building, guys.
Yeah.
So kudos to everyone. I love what I'm seeing in the test environment. I mean, I say it in every stand up, and you guys know that I'm literally trying to murder the app every day. It is awesome. It is some really, really cool shit. And it's also comfortable to say that I'm feeling very reliable and confident in the stability of it day by day. It gets better, especially with this latest release. So thank you. The clients see that, this is an expensive product. It's a high-end product. And so stability matters, and I really appreciate that everyone's leaning in. I think we have a good plan of attack to get that up and running. So I'd love to ask a question for the team if that's possible. It's not a demo. Yeah. I've been getting two pieces of feedback, which I think are strong buying signals, positive. But I wanted to kind of like share with all of you and get your thoughts. One is we've flipped market research on its head because now there's no stress of the experimental design process. There's no commitment of 6 months or 3 months, right, to run an experiment. They can run as many as they'd like. And because of that, we offer subscription. Their natural inclination towards experiments is payment per experiment. This is a whole new muscle, right? Because then the next question, right, that they ask me is, well, shit, like, I don't know how many more experiments I'm gonna run, etc. You know what I mean? And my response is, well, guess what? You don't have to worry. It's unlimited for a reason. Like, the only constraint is the one that you put yourself based on how many questions you want to ask. Right? So that was an interesting piece of feedback, but it's also revolutionary in the industry. It is very, very interesting. The other one that I got from clients, now clients, they're in our consulting trial program, is I love this platform. I trust the data of the platform. How do I get my client, the end user, to trust the data in the platform? That was interesting. That's on them, in my opinion, on the consultant. But yeah, that was interesting tidbit. I guess they're not questions. They're more like feedback. Sorry, guys. It just made me think. I'm curious to get anyone's thoughts, though. And what do you guys think? What strategies? That's why we're so far lately been really indexing on like a 2-week, like a real robust, unlimited trial program, not limited to 2 experiments. I'm like, I want you to test it out, break it, burn it, like, let's go. Embed yourself. That's why I've been stressing around onboarding, because it's much more complex than what they're used to. Sarah asked a great question. Sarah, the user feedback document, and I'll share it here. These are like my personal user interviews that I've done with friends and prospects. Is here. Let me share this with everyone. It's the last person, Patricia. She's ex-Frog, now consultant. She's actually even interested in being a potential paying customer. She's right now reviewing it. She's testing out the platform yesterday. And yeah.
What's the feedback you're looking for? Sorry.
just curious what your thoughts are. Any strategies or thoughts on how to convert, how to, what other best practices or, things. Just want to be a good student. There's a lot of horsepower in terms of IP, right?
Well, I'm still reading through the article, but in the abstract, it's like something about like that.
Okay, but he said, is Patricia a consultant?
Yes. Yes. At Frog, she was a strategist, and now she is like a consulting strategist around environmental policy. And she's found.
In what context does she need like her clients to use the platform instead of her using the platform? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Sorry, what was the question? What was the question?
In what context is like why isn't she just using the platform instead of like giving it to her clients, or is she trying to get her clients to be okay with her using it?
The latter. Yeah. Yeah, she wants to use it for her practice. And then she just kind of like in starting to use the platform, she was like, it makes me think though, right? Like I may trust it, but will the client, right? And so that's the risk of an intermediary, and I think the answer is, look, it's on you to qualify, right? This is just a tool. But we need to empower her with the tools to qualify and all that stuff. That's my rationale. But yeah, we'll see. As Avi always says, right? Like execute, test, understand, let the market tell you where the opportunity is. So we're trying and being very creative.
That's Michelle you're talking about?
No. Michelle's in. She's in the program. She even shared her first client. I'm meeting with her actually next week again. So this is Patricia. This is a brand new. You haven't even met with her. She's like
a similar thing that you have with Michelle, right? Getting them to be effectively like a sales channel.
Yeah. Correct.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Measure them.
Yeah.
Give them metrics. Cut them loose if they don't hit them.
Yeah, exactly. The way I'm kind of starting to position myself is, I'm sharing this just so that you guys are aware, is I am the consultant to the consultant, or I'm the consultant to the end user, right? My job is.
I would say, well,
yeah.
Let's kind of. I want to wrap this up because we're kind of over time for stand up, but I would say if you're looking for a short hack, create a community. Get a channel in Discord, invite them into the Discord channel, and get them chatting, get them talking. And then
it's a really good idea, actually. Wow, good idea. Thank you.
And then we can do our UGC, EGC, whatever. Cool. Nice work, Pablo.
Great idea.
Nice work, Pablo. That'll be exciting. Oh, do they want a % of revenue? Do they want like some sort of commission? Or are they just using us as like a way to sell their services?
The latter.
Okay, fine.
The way I've positioned it so far. That means this is just starting out. But no, I'm not going to share my revenue. In fact, if anything, they should share theirs.
Sure.
Yeah. In fact, that's what Michelle had initially said, was, is the expectation, because the way I positioned it is, I'm giving you a gift. I'm investing in you, right? Like, I can go to any consultant and offer them this.
Right. Cool.
What's your gift? Yeah.
Nice job. Nice job. All right, guys. Happy Friday. Good progress. Stay in the channels. Help the new guys get onboarded and ramped up. And Sarah, if you want to hang out with me, and we can send out some offers, that'd be helpful.